Juan Carlos, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Thank you so much. Very good. Very good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here at Miami Global Net. So, Juan Carlos, before we talk about the chamber, tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Spain. I was born in Huelva, a city close to Seville in Andalusia in the south. And I've been here in Miami for the last 12 years. Yeah.
What brought you to Miami?
Well, I came here to start a internship program with um, with the government of Andalusia in Spain to help companies from that region doing business here in the United States. And so I got the opportunity to come here and help out those companies doing business here and entering the US market. And since then, I've been really involved in helping companies succeed and start their businesses here, grow their business here. I love that. I like that type of work, helping companies to grow.
And what got you started with the chamber?
It really was something unexpected. I received a message through LinkedIn. The chamber was looking to replace the former executive director that was leaving the organization, and they asked me to participate in the selection process. I feel intrigued, and I said yes. So I started the process, and after several interviews, well, they decided to bring me on board, and I've been here since May 2018.
Wow, that's a long time.
Well,
Kind of
sometimes it doesn't feel
feel.
like that. Times flies. So
You mentioned you liked to help companies grow. What is your favorite part of the whole process of seeing a company grow?
well, I like every part of the journey. But one of the things that I like very much is to learn from those companies, to learn about their projects, about their products, uh, about their goals and their dreams. That's a part that I like it very much. So the first interview that I have with a company that it's interested in entering a new market or growing somewhere else, maybe going to a different state, I love that first meeting when I I become again a child with a lot of curiosity. So I love to ask many questions to understand as much as I can about the industry, the company, their strengths, their fears, all that, and all that information helps me a lot to get an overview of what they need, and that way help them the best way I can. So that part, that first meeting is something that I like it very much. It's like sitting there and watch a movie, but you can interact. You can ask them anything you have in your mind, and all the time, every time, they are very willing to answer you because they see that you're interested in their dreams. So I love that part. And of course, every time they succeed and they sign their first contract with a new client, and they grow, well, that it's very, very nice. But that first meeting for me is very important. I like that because I learning a lot of things. Maybe at the end of the day, we part ways and they go somewhere else, or I don't see them in a while, but at least I learn a lot about them. And if I see another opportunity, I might be able to help them, understanding what they need. Some other opportunity could cross my path, and I will be able to help them and say, okay, yeah, I remember a company that was looking for this, and put them in touch, in contact. No? That's something that I like very much.
And these are companies that are mainly interested in importing into the United States or coming to the United States.
Yes, most of the companies that I deal with, are companies interested in doing business here in the States? It should be selling the products here or investing here, that they wanted to come here to the States and make an investment, maybe set up offices, headquarters, sometimes factories, things like that.
So, and this is some of the work that you do with the chamber,
Mhm.
correct?
Sure. Yes, yes. It's a big part of our daily work. It's to help companies and support them with advice and trying to, you know, to make the learning curve as much shorter as possible. That's our main goal.
So, talking about the chamber, let's dive into the chamber. Can you give us a little bit of some history, or how is it structured? How does it work?
Mhm.
What is the Spain U.S. Chamber of Commerce look like?
Okay, yes, sure. Well, the Spanish Chamber of Commerce just in 2020 it got 40 years old. So that's interesting. No, the chamber has been 40 years around, and
Congratulations.
with thank you, with offices in Florida. And well, it was created by a group of entrepreneurs and executive of companies that wanted to share ideas and to help each other to navigate coming to a new country in the United States and understand things better. And since then, the chamber has been growing, and today we are an organization that help and support companies interested in setting operations here in the United States. So, how is it organized? Well, we have today around 400 and something members, 430, something like that, and many different types of companies and many different industries. And well, there is a board of directors that they, determine the highlights and the guidelines of the company, of the organization. This board of directors is selected every 3 years among the members of the chamber. And the last elections were in November 2020. So we have a brand new board of directors since December 9th, I think was the date that they started. They are 20 members in the board, and they come also from many different backgrounds. And below the board, there's a team of professionals that we work and we provide, the daily operations of the chamber. Um, I am the executive director at the Spain U.S. Chamber, and I supervise daily work of the team and try to make sure that the goals and the guidelines set up, that we reach those goals, properly every year. And well, in a normal day, we do many different things. We have two different departments: the international trade department and the marketing and communications department. So on a typical day, we would do things like resolving questions and inquiries from companies from many different types. Last year we resolved more than 4,800 questions or inquiries from companies. So if you divide those
Wow.
4,000 between 365 days, you get a lot of questions resolved every day. So that's a big part of our job, to try to solve people's questions. It could be about importing products from Spain to the US, or tariffs, or many different things, regulations that affect a specific product, everything about that. But also it could be to try to identify potential partners for a company. Some companies, ask us for advice to find the right partner to start a business here in the States. or to make an investment. So we spend part of the day also looking and contacting with other local companies that might be interested in those joint ventures and things like that. And also at the same time, we try to host and organize uh, different activities and events that might bring opportunities to the members of the chamber and also the rest of the community to bring together a group of like-minded people that could discuss ideas and explore synergies and connections. So that's why we try to organize at least 2 different activities every month. It could be a seminar, a workshop, or a networking event, but all of them provide information, useful information for the attendees, and also try to provide a platform for networking, which you know very well that it's a very important thing here everywhere, but especially here in South Florida. It's a great tool
Yep.
to achieve many things, to know new people, to understand, learn new things, and find potential partners, providers, suppliers, clients, whatever, you name it. So we do our best to try to provide those platforms. Now, because of the COVID, things are not, like it was before. So we try to do everything online, but we are looking forward to to see the end of this tunnel and again start with the presence of people on events.
I mean, the entire international community is really looking forward to the comeback of person-to-person meetings and events
Mhm.
and activities, because that's what we sustained ourselves on. Like you said, you hit it on the money. The networking here in Miami is very important, and especially in South Florida, and I would say even more special for the international community, because you got delegations coming in, events, people connecting. You got the Chamber of
Mhm.
Commerce like yourself, the Consul General's offices, the trade offices. They're all doing something because it's all people to people business.
Mm. Yes, definitely.
So tell us about some of the services that the actually, before we talk about services, the chamber is also recognized by the government of Spain, right?
Mhm.
Can you
Yes,
tell us
we
about
are.
that?
Sure. We are an official binational chamber of commerce. In fact, by number of members, I believe that we are the largest binational official chamber of commerce, at least in Florida, but maybe in the US. And yes, so we are a private organization, nonprofit, but we are also recognized by the government of Spain as an official chamber of commerce. And because of that, we must follow several rules established in regulations from Spain. Most of those rules have something to do with transparency and that they make sure that an official organizations like ourselves are doing things properly. So, for example, our financials every year are audited by a third company, and we send those audits to the government of Spain, to the ministry, and also as part of the board of directors, the trade commissioner of Spain here, it's part of this board of directors as a technical advisor. So he's like the link between the government and the administration with the Spain US Chamber of Commerce. And we have a very close relation, of course, with them, with the trade commissioner, of course, but also with the consulate, with the General Consul of Spain, and with the rest of the Spanish administration. So we try to work with them every time. In fact, every year we organize several things with them, and we support each other every way we can. So our relation is really good, really great. It's been very successful, at least since I uh, started in the chamber. And yeah, so that's the part that provide us like an umbrella that it's provided by the government of Spain, and as being an official chamber of commerce, we are part of a federation of Spanish chambers of commerce in America, which is called FETEC. And there are, I believe, like 24 different chambers of commerce from all over the America continent, from Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, you name it. Every country in America has an official Spain Chamber of Commerce, and we are part of that federation.
Awesome. When you mentioned the trade commissioner, I was going to mention that I had interviewed him earlier.
Oh, great.
I'll
great.
I'll send you that link to that interview.
Please, yes, please do it.
But I'm glad that you guys work together, because there's a lot of synergies there, natural synergies. I did not know that the trade commissioner was part of your board, so that's good to know.
Yes, and he's been a very supportive part of the board since he got here to Miami.
I think it was like a year ago or something. Huh?
Yes, and before Francisco came here, it was Inmaculada Gutierrez.
Yes.
Probably you knew her, and at that time she was part of the board, because whoever it's the trade commissioner, that person will be automatically part of the board of directors of the Spain-US Chamber of Commerce.
Got it. So let's run down some of the services that the chamber offers.
Yes, about the services that we can provide, we are very flexible, and we can provide many different things. But I would say that everything we can provide, you can include them in two different groups. It will be a consultancy, or it would be something related to marketing and communication. For the consultancy or international trade, which we call it, we can provide the tools or services that any company might need when they want to start a business somewhere else. We can do market research, and we of course can try to find out and identify potential partners or clients. And of course, one of the services that are most demanded from the companies are the preparation of individual agendas. And the service in particular.
Sorry, yeah. What do you mean by agendas? I mean, the word agenda can mean many things. Can you?
Yeah, in fact, I was going to ask you, because I think that we should change the name in English, because in Spanish, it's pretty clear. You know, in Spanish, we call it agenda comercial. And I think that most of Spanish-speaking people would understand what's that. But if you translate that into English, it might get very different meanings. So here, if you have a good suggestion, please give it to us, because we are looking for a new brand name for, call that in English. But the meaning, or what we do, that service, what includes, well, let's say that a company, a producer of olive oil, for example, would like to sell the products here in the United States. Well, they could call us so that we could identify and arrange for them meetings with importers of olive oil here in the United States, or food importers in general. So what we do is we try to identify as many importers of food and olive oil in particular as we can, and we contact them and try to arrange those meetings on a specific period of time. So maybe the company is planning to come here to Miami in the second week of April. So we try to identify as many importers possible and try to schedule those agendas, those meetings for that week. And the company could come here, meet several of them, and try to, get an agreement with any of them. So those are typical things that we do and that are very valuable or valued by our members, because we save them a lot of time and
sure.
and problems. No, so those are some typical things that we do under the international trade department. And on the other hand, some companies that might be here already, but they've been in the States for some time, they just want to, you know, to grow a little bit more, maybe in a different state, or they would like to get more exposure. Well, we can provide them with a little bit of exposure in our organization through our channels, and also trying to offer them opportunities to show themselves. For example, as we mentioned before, we organize a lot of different events. So we provide sponsorship opportunities for these events. And some companies might be very interested in becoming sponsors because it will provide a little bit of exposure uh, to third parties or people that usually are not under their radar, and associating these companies to a specific event that might be of their interest. We find that is sometimes very useful. So um, about that, and through that, and also through our own channels, our social media, our website, our magazine, things like that, we can provide a little bit of exposure or additional exposure to companies. So those are some of the types of things that we do. But I always tell the companies that since we are a private organization, we are very flexible, and our goal is to help them and to try to help them achieve their goals. So if they need anything that it's not included in our own catalog, they can ask us whatever they need, and we will be more than happy to study it. And if we can make it happen, we will make it happen. We will be able to study those things, present a proposal, and if they agree, we can go ahead. Because we only have two limitations. One is our resources. Of course, we have limited resources. We are not many people. We are a small team, very passionate about our work, but small team, and we have limited resources, economic resources. So that's one limitation that we have. But if whatever is asked, we can provide with our resources, we're good. And the second filter that we apply is that whatever is asked for the chamber to provide, it shouldn't be a problem with another member. I mean, for example, we have several types of memberships. So if someone that has a lower membership want a service that it's provided only to the higher memberships, well, we would ask this company to make an upgrade so that we can provide that service. So we don't want to interfere with the services that are provided to other members. But apart from that, we can study almost anything and provide almost every service requested to our clients.
So do I need to become a member to receive the services, to have access to the services?
Well, preferably yes, but it's not a specific requirement. The thing is that we have three main types of memberships, and we try to bring on board as many members as possible and help them as members. But if a company comes to the Spain US Chamber and wants us to provide them services, we could provide those services to a company without becoming a member. But the price of that service is going to be more than if they become a member. So our price structure, it's made in a way that every time it makes sense to become a member. And you can choose different types of memberships depending on what you need. You can choose the membership that includes those services that you are looking for, or that brings you the higher discount to those services. So becoming a member at the end of the day is gonna save you money. But no, there is no specific requirement. We can provide services to any company that requires those services. But of course, looking at our catalog of services, you will see that it makes sense to become one of the members of the Spain US Chamber for 1 year at least, and you will find many different benefits and services, not only that service that you're looking for, but some other perks that are included in our memberships.
Got it. Got it. So I know that we are running out of time. I have one more question for you. Tell us about this 40-year anniversary that was last year, right? Last year you celebrated. Congratulations again.
Mhm.
Um,
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, well, of course, last year was a very difficult year for everyone for reasons that everybody knows. So we had before before COVID, we had in mind to prepare, a celebration with many different events along the year. Unfortunately, most of those events had to be postponed or canceled. But one of the things that we are keeping and we are working on, it's a book, a special book uh, to celebrate this 40th anniversary. And in that book, we will see 20 companies that tell their stories and how they came here to the United States. Those are success stories, very interesting, and many people in the U.S. will found there things that they didn't know. For example, they will find out that some of the bridges that they cross every year to go to work, maybe in Seattle or in New York, were built by Spanish companies, or that the systems that guide most 90% of the airplanes in the world, it's made by Spanish companies, things like that. So that's going to be a very interesting book, and hopefully we will have it ready and finished by May, and we are planning to host our first in-person event in May if possible, depending on COVID. If not, we will push it a little bit after the summer, but definitely I'll keep you posted, and you will be able to check those in our website, which I encourage you to visit it, which is SpainUSChamber.com. And that is one of the projects that we are most excited about it, that will come to light this year in 2021.
Well, I will definitely put all your contact information in the show notes for people to access. And I hope that when your book comes out, maybe we can do another short episode on some of these interesting stories, because that having a Spanish company um, develop the technology that's used to track the airplanes, I think that's kind of stories are very interesting. So,
Yeah, definitely. I'll be happy to.
Juan Carlos, thank you for joining us again.
Oh, you're welcome, Alejandro. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Anytime.